I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kim and I are here. Our two student reps are here. And Lynn and Kelly, thanks for coming. John is out of town. And I think JJ is in Portland, but Alana is coming, so she'll be here by the time we vote. I bet she's just a couple minutes late. In the meantime, I am looking for a motion to approve the agenda. I can't approve the agenda, so we're gonna hold off on the agenda. So we can't vote on the consent agenda, but we can move to public comment. Sherry, do we have public comment? Nice. Perfect timing.
Was there really anything in here for me, you think?
I don't know. No, maybe not.
Okay.
Send it.
Do you want to go back to the agenda?
Oh, yes. Now I am looking for a motion to approve the agenda
I like a motion to approve the agenda
with an adjustment,
with an adjustment, an addendum.
a modification.
A modification to switch A and B in the special recognition section.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? We're good to go on the agenda. Next, we are up for the consent agenda. Is there any questions on the consent agenda? I didn't see anything. And Beth, I see this is a prior
Yep, that's an
interlocal agreement with Mount
Yep,
Vernon.
that we've done for many
So
years, yep.
with that, I'm looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda?
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstained? Consent agenda passes. Next, we are moving on to public comment. Sherry.
We have Christine Tripp. So, I thought to myself, what do you give a school board as a gift in recognition of their service to our school? So, this is just a small token of the things that we're thankful for as you are part of our school board, but I just wanted to give something. It's just a small token of our appreciation for your service to the community, and thankful for the diverse, rich, invested community that we have. And so I just want to give this book to each of you as a little token of my appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Sophia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mister. We need your signature.
Yeah, it's for you to, in the spirit of literacy, it's for you to read to someone, share with someone. You know.
Hey, good kindness
Yes.
Yes, good kindness acts in kindness week.
It's kindness week.
You guys can read to leadership class.
Lauren will love that. He would die, I think.
Okay, next up is Dan.
Dan O'Donnell.
Dan O'Donnell, 328 North Third in O'Connor. I come once a year, whether you want me to or not. I'm here to complain about the tax that will be imposed by you. You mentioned the O and M part. We got that. We'll support that. But we won't support the $1,434,000 of debt service. Now, if you read the interlocal agreement in section 18, it provides for God dang, arbitration. Arbitration is possible. Now, why you folks won't do it? 10 years I've been at this. And why you won't go to arbitration? It just doesn't cost that much. It's not like hiring an attorney. You you arbitrate your side and they arbitrate their side. I was strongly recommend that you go to arbitration on this one. And look at the last year, this year's done, we know that. But next year, maybe, I was there on July 29th. My God. Try arbitration. Save $487,560.
Okay, Dan, we appreciate you coming.
Well,
And
thank you.
providing your
Once a
comments.
year, whether you want me to or not.
Well, and again, we don't comment on public comment, but at some point, I'm sure Dave will give you a jingle and review some of the numbers that he probably does every year with Dan, but as we do discuss it at different times in our board meetings. Okay, anything else, Sherry? No, that's it. Nothing else in public comment. Next, we're moving on to special recognition. Katie Weigel. And your crew, you have a big crew here.
Have a crew.
Not up.
Hey, maybe kids, why don't, does it work if I talk first about what we do a little bit and then you come up if you're ready and you want to say something about the arts? Okay, thank you. Oh my gosh. You want to work with audience, just way too small. All right, well, I brought a bunch of stuff. Thank you so much for having me. I asked to come present because I would like to build, well, actually in a community that has tons and tons of awareness about the importance of the arts. I come today as the very happy to be here art teacher and hoping to share with everyone some information about that, the importance of the arts and how the arts build our children as people and help them to excel in every academic area, not just art.
And Katie, maybe
Yes.
explain your role, so
Thank you.
all the parents that are here, they just know what
Okay,
you do.
I mean, I taught most of you kindergarten, but now I get to teach elementary art, and that's for half the day every day. So I get to see all the students in the school, K through 5, and it's amazing. So each week, 2/3 of the students have 2 art classes with me, and the other third has 1 art class, and that changes every trimester because there are 3 trimesters and 9 classes. It all works out. So, yes, I teach art at the elementary and I'm loving it. And
And this is a new program, so I
Yes.
guess the other thing is, Dave, we should maybe comment, this is a new funded program, right? This is a new role, newly funded for this
Correct.
year.
Yep.
And state required, so this was kind of.
The state does require that we teach art at every grade. Basically through the school year, through all the years, but and I don't remember the exact language, but we are required to provide some arts.
fine arts.
And I think,
Technically music.
and I think we're a little bit above that, the state requirement, because we not only have fine arts, but also music in the elementary. And art this year, it replaced as a special, the technology class that we have been doing, so.
Sorry, I just want to give that
No, that's
background
great.
because it just.
Pop in anytime, yeah. So, I mean, first of all, I want to really thank the school board. We've made posters in the art class. They were decorated for you. You help us to glow, you help us to grow. Thank you, LC School Board. A lot of the kids signed them. And we just really appreciate all that you all and everyone does to make, to help our programs. My intention is to hopefully over a couple of times this year, spread awareness about the incredible influence that the exposure to the arts and, engagement with the arts can hold within all of our lives and our kids' lives and their learning. And I'm just so thrilled to have the chance to teach kids every day and have them experience it. A quick look into our arts classroom, if you mind putting up. So I just sent Sherry just a few quick pictures, just like a few things that you might see. You'd see a lot of color, multiple media for creating our projects here, projects there. We use a lot of academic vocabulary that's used throughout all of the subjects. So like, you know, today we were talking about parallel lines and perpendicular lines. You'll see a ton of literature, art everywhere, paint everywhere, just the mess of creating an inspiration. This is something we've been working on. In a typical 50-minute art class, the kids will come in and we'll either do journals first, they'll do whiteboards. And so the journals are there, and I think the kids, I mean, these kids can speak if they choose, but I think a lot of the kids really like the journals. It provides a calm, like reflective time. We're learning to do it. And it helps the kids to kind of quiet their mind and begin to look at where they are and what they might be feeling, which throughout a school day, there's really not the chance to do that. There's very little chance to like breathe and have a moment. And then in their journals, they can draw or write like whatever they're choosing to just do color splotches or lines or draw something or draw feelings. It does not matter. For when we use whiteboards, we use those on purpose to stimulate different parts of our brains, like making connections by using our we'll maybe write our name with our dominant hand and then write it with our non-dominant hand. And doing that exercise with various things, or like using one line and not picking up the marker and doing some sort of picture with not picking it up. Also, I'm really working into teaching the lines that we use to make cursive letters. And because cursive is just one thing that, you know, there's so much that general ed teachers have to teach, and really cursive has really fallen by the wayside. But it's super important in developing brain, you know, connections that are, you know, just really important for these kids. Kind of like, you know, crawling, the cross lateral movement is really important development brain connection wise. So we'll open up with that. We'll do a lesson. Maybe we'll explore artists by, you know, we'll explore maybe a famous artist. We've, you know, explored a few, Yayoi Kusama, Vasily Kandinsky, Frida Kahlo, just, you know, reading books about them, learning about their type of art, their style, learning about their things they have gone through in their lives through stories and literature. And I think it's really engaging. It's really engaging to me because I'm fascinated by stories about people, and I think most of us are. So we'll do that. And another amazing thing in our community that I hope we'll be doing, I mean, we will be doing, it's a matter of working it all in, is, you know, learning about local artists that we have so many of within our families, within our, you know, community, and their stories. So it provides a lot of inspiration. We also learn how to use different media and techniques, like for example, when we're using watercolors, we've learned a little bit about watercolor paper. We learned to use tape to make clean borders and lines on it. We learn like techniques like wet on wet. And the other day, a second grader came in and said, "Miss Weigel, this weekend I taught my family wet on wet." And I was like, "That's so awesome." You know, so she had taught her family, you wet the whole paper first, then you add, you know, the watercolor paint, and just the magic that it makes happen is really fun for, well, all of us. And another technique, I mean, that I've been amazed, just the kids, just in their experimentation with the tools and the media, they stumble upon many techniques that I like have haven't even got to, like one child that I think maybe he thought he wasn't kind of engaged, but he was scratching with the opposite side of his paintbrush on his watercolor. And I was like, that is an awesome technique, and a lot of watercolor artists use that technique, you know, so it's just really fun to, and he's like, oh, okay, you know, and so just kind of raising their awareness. We also compare media, like for instance, using tempera paint versus watercolor paint to help the kids kind of develop what they like working with, or what media works for what project. And so a lot of it is just, I mean, it's through the creative process, which we're doing every day, which is just amazing. By the way, it just brings me so much joy, and I think it brings joy to the students as well, based on feedback I've gotten from them. I'm really seeing the kids be engaged. I'm seeing them try things one way, failing, trying another way and another way. And I feel very grateful for this chance to do this position, because I am so very comfortable with complete failure in front of my students. Like, and it happens every day, and they will watch me, you know, try something, because I love art, but I have not done everything to perfection. I'm just learning how to do a lot of this too, you know? And so I'll try something and it will obviously fail, and then I'll problem solve and try it a different way. And then I see them doing that too. And I love that it's a safe place for us to really do that and be okay with it, because that's, and I talked to them about, that's making more brain connections. You actually make more when you fail than when you just get everything right. You know, like you have to try a different way. You're problem solving, you're, you know, thinking critically about what to change or what to try. I'm seeing the kids doing this. I'm seeing them recognize their own strengths and those of others. I'm seeing them feeling and working through things. This is just a cute example. It's one young child, that the child has huge feelings frequently, and a lot of hard things in his life. He's very young, but when he paints, he like finds a place within himself that he like wants to share and tell a story through this painting. And this is me, I'm at my birthday party, and this is confetti, and this is a really big piece of confetti. And how are you feeling? I was so happy. And tell me more about, you know, it's the child identifying a feeling that he does not normally feel at school. And so I'm seeing a lot of that in our, you know, that's the power of identifying our feelings and being okay with them and working through them. I'm seeing students really focus, like this, you know, picture. They're super focused, which is amazing. They're very engaged through what they're doing, and the talk that I give and the talk that they're starting to give. They're developing self-confidence by realizing and recognizing like what they prefer, their preferences, their abilities, and what makes them happy to do. They're developing these critical thinking and problem solving skills that they need across their lives, across every academic area. They're questioning, like, you know, what would happen if I did this, or why did you do that? They're learning to self-manage. My goal is to almost have an open art studio where they come in and are working on their things. And that will come this year, because we haven't had, you know, explicit teaching with all the different media and stuff like that, because there's not time in the general ed classroom. This year, I'm just really trying to provide experiences. Yes.
Well, we were in the classrooms last week,
Yes.
and then we were there for literacy night as well. And Katie, I think what you're doing in the classrooms, and probably the parents that toured, I mean, it's amazing what you're doing with these kids and the artwork we're seeing. It is most definitely a step above than what we've ever seen. So my compliments to you on doing that. In the interest of time, do
Yes.
you want the kids? to
I do.
talk? Is there any, okay,
Yes, so,
I'm just thinking it's kind of dinner time
Yeah.
in there.
it totally
Yeah,
is.
okay.
Sorry, trying to make it quicker. The last things I wanna say is, what I'm hoping to teach them too is to notice in our world, like, just to notice. Like we talked about sunsets, colors, and then they come back having noticed. Just teaching to, like this morning on my way in, I photographed fern leaves covered in frost. And that's something I intend to show them just to like notice, and they're doing that. And I just think it's like an awareness thing for us these days. And be inspired by artist stories, by cultures, by learning about them. And yeah, this is what I hope for them. And above all, just joy. They see it from me and their love for learning and creating and for thinking in their own way. So we did ask some kiddos to come speak. Georgia, do you want to come up? And then maybe Ryan, then Owen, does that sound okay? Okay, come on, will you come up? So I didn't ask them specific things. You can say whatever you choose. I was just kind of thinking you could share. We love it.
I agree with everything Ms. Swaggle said. I think that, in the span of the time that we started having art class, I haven't just gotten better at like sketching, but like being creative. I feel like Ms. Swaggle will say, like, imagine a sunset and kids will like come back with like drawings of trees and all kinds of different things. So I feel like everyone's gotten better at, like, making their imaginations more like grow. And I think that's really fun. Art class is also my favorite class of the day, I would say, because like every Wednesday is when I have it. I just really look forward to it.
And what grade are you in? Tell us your first name again.
My name is Georgia.
Okay, Georgia. And what grade are you in?
I'm fifth grade.
That's great. Well, thank you for coming and sharing
Good job,
today.
Georgia.
My name is Ryan and I'm in fourth grade. And art is my favorite part of the day. It lets us express ourselves in a relaxing time to draw. Art is anything you want it to be. Coloring, painting, cutting, gluing, and sculpture. All kids can do art at any age. It helps students connect with one another.
Sure, wherever you feel comfortable.
I find it so that art is hopeful and calming when I have it every Tuesday and Friday, and peaceful, especially painting.
And what grade are you?
It
That's great. Like the students, maybe Katie to go stand with you in front of our logo, and maybe Beth and Dave, would you like to go stand with them? And Sherry, we can get a nice picture of all of you. So one of the students over there with Katie and Beth and Dave.
Winter, wanna come over? Hurry, wanna come over?
Look at this, come to one of the adult.
There you go.
Like adults do this.
Come on, an appreciation of art. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway,
Honey.
Thank you so much. I know I can be longer. Can I just pass out two things that I brought for you all, for anyone who wants them?
Yeah.
Okay.
One is Through the Art's Eye and 10 lessons that the arts teach. And the other is some of the things we're learning, the elements of art and the principles of art and design. Just kind of for general information, and I just think it's powerful stuff.
Alrighty.
So.
Well, parents and kids, we'll let you go home for dinner. Thank you
Yeah,
so much. Bye-bye.
And thank you, school board.
Thanks, Katie.
Thanks, guys.
Hey. Okay, next stop. I'm turning it over to Becker Dave.
Well, before I start, I have something prepared for the board. So
Okay.
before I start, we have Ryan Patrick with the Braves up here, and he's got, I think, something for the board. So let's him kind of do a quick story.
Somebody whispered in my ear that it's school board appreciation month. So Ellie is here to help. We had Michaela too, but is out to have her to brace up. Parents show up and take the kids home. So
Oh,
Michaela
yes.
just went home. So Ellie is one of our students who helped make the thank you cards. We spent some time last week talking about the school board and what you do and how you help, and there's a lot of things that go on here, and I'm really sad and it's hard to do. You were not there that day, but you're here to help pass it out. So we want to pass these out to you, and they're just for the school board in general. So we hope you enjoy looking at them when they take home.
And what grade are you? Second grade. Well, thank you so much for coming today.
Wow.
They kinda lay 'em out
There,
here.
lay 'em out. Oh, look at them.
This
That's
is
wonderful.
From the kids. The kids did all of these. We gave them some
Thank you,
suggestions,
Vanessa.
but they just kind of took it and
Wow.
like, we just turned them loose on it. They did a fantastic job. So they wanted to say thank you.
This one says, look at
In the
them,
brace
thank you.
So
It's just like that. That's so cool.
There's a wide variety of
Thank
them.
you.
Wow, those are great.
Is this a bunny? Thank you, honey. I think it's a bunny.
Oh,
How is thinking on your birthday?
Oh, yeah, just keep passing them out.
Yeah.
Get like- Good job.
So from all the Braves kids, we want to.
I love it.
Tell them thank
job.
you. Well, the kids did a good job. Alrighty, thank
All right.
you. So cute.
Yours is
So-
fine.
Okay, Dave.
Wow.
I'm going to, yes, I'm gonna read something in to the minutes for you guys. It's a recognition of our board. So we would like to take this opportunity to recognize and express our deepest gratitude to our dedicated school board directors during School Board Recognition Month. As proclaimed by the governor, January is a time to honor the selfless commitment and hard work of these elected community leaders. The LaConner School Board plays a vital role in shaping the future of our children and ensuring that public education in our district continues to thrive. These individuals carry the significant responsibility of overseeing an annual budget of $12.9 million for the 24-25 fiscal year, supporting the education of approximately 470 students, guiding 102 employees, and maintaining 9 district facilities. Their dedication is evident in the thoughtful decisions they make, the information they evaluate, and the vision they set for the success of every student in our district. Our school board members serve as a critical link between the community and the school district. They embody the principles of civic responsibility that underpin our democracy, principles that are fundamental to sustaining public education. Their commitment is essential to helping us achieve the collective hopes and aspirations we hold for the children of LaConner. As we celebrate School Board Recognition Month, we encourage everyone to join us in thanking these remarkable individuals for their service, their collaborative efforts with district staff, families, and the broader community exemplify a steadfast dedication to governance, advocacy, and the betterment of public education, not just in LaConner, but across Washington State. Please join us in showing appreciation for the LaConner School Board members who dedicate their time, energy, and expertise to our schools and students. Their work is invaluable, and we are truly fortunate to have such passionate leaders shaping the future of education in our community. So I'd like to thank Alana Fantastic, December 11th, 2023, she started with the board. John Agan, who's not with us tonight, he started on December 16th of 2019. Jeremy Wilbur, JJ's not with us, but he was on August 10th of 2020. Kim Pedroza, started March 27th of 2023. Susie Dio, our board president, on March 25th of 2019. And I don't want to forget our two school board reps. We have Emily Goodman and Kaylee Caillou Lochran. Thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
We all love what we do. It's all for the kids. Okay, anything else on anything to do? I'm gonna move on to action items to keep us going. We have a $2,000 donation from the Lacona Braves Club Fundraising Council and the Lacona Rotary for the Braves Hub. So that is, thank you. So they must have done some fundraising, and the Rotary as well made a commitment. So again, I thank the Rotary and the foundation for this $2,000. So again, it supports the after-school program. So with that, I'm looking for a motion to accept this donation.
I make a motion to accept this donation from the Rotary.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? We're good to go on that. Thank you. Next is the strategic plan update. And again, we made a commitment at our summer retreat that we, again, several times throughout the year, we're going to make sure we look at our strategic plan to keep it a living document. And this summer, we decided that we needed to update some of the activities and timelines. And initially, we approved the engage portion in October. You have two more sections on connect and achieve. And again, in the connect item, and again, we read this through at our study session. So now we're just really approving this today. We came up with 4 new activities and timelines and measures. And again, that is to host an annual professional development day with our community partners to collaborate and strengthen our community ties. And it will provide an opportunity for them to participate and contribute to our district. The second one was to facilitate monthly community and family engagement events to increase student success and attendance. And again, this past week, last week, we had our literacy night. In December, we had our holiday music concert night. And then, right, we'll continue to have some more. We're having a talent show in February, so.
And drama in March.
And drama in March. So again, those are good. Again, we really put that in as a specific activity. So we keep track on that. Again, we're trying to get families and more community into the school to be engaged. The third item was to focus on effective two-way communication with our families through our available platforms, like Remind and other platforms. And the fourth one was to offer an annual climate survey in January for an opportunity for staff to provide feedback to district leadership. And again, this is a climate survey, again, for our staff to provide feedback to our district leadership in an anonymous kind of forum a little bit. So the plan is to get that probably next January, but again, we wanted to put that in a strategic plan to make sure. We had just the CEE survey, but it was, Beth, we would say pretty big, clumsy, and maybe limited participation.
Agreed.
So we wanted to do something specific for the staff. And again, that we can kind of track and monitor it and give us a feeling for how things are going in school. So that's the connect changes. Is there any other questions, comments on that one? Again, we read it last time, so. Okay, let's go on to achieve. Again, we are updating the objective that says the Lacona School District will align personnel and training with the culture of the district. This was very specific to HR. We decided to raise the bar and really just say this is about aligning personnel and training, not just an HR specific task. And then under that activities, we added aligned training and personnel to hold all students and staff accountable for meeting high expectations. So I don't know, Emmeline and Kelly, but this is really where we want students to be accountable for high expectations for learning, but also our staff, right? Hold them accountable.
Mhm.
So that's a new one we're really adding that I think is very specific kind of for you guys.
Okay.
So. And the last one was Dave, this one we kind of changed the date here a little bit. We will adopt a fully operational emergency plan by October of 2025 at that board meeting. And again, it will be developed in collaboration with state, local, and county first responders. So. Again, something a little bit more specific that really was not in the strategic plan, but again, it just provides this direction, and my view is this, I think, was approved in 2019 or 2020, so again, it's 2025, so we're just keeping all the hard work as well as because we spent a lot of money for some of the staff or members of this consultant coming in and helping us build this, really just making sure it becomes a living document and is current and has some information. So is there any other discussion on that? Otherwise, I'm looking for a motion to approve our strategic plan update.
Make the motion to approve the strategic plan update.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? We're good to go on that. So thank you. And Sherry, thank you then for putting that out, and we'll get a new one published up on our website. Next, we need to adopt an ILA with the Lacano Swinomish Library student cards. Beth.
So I'm super excited about this, of course, library. The town library approached us last summer about could we get library cards to every single student? We agreed to put into the final forms a signature page where parents could agree if they wanted to have their kid get a library card. They just had to fill out the form. That part has all happened. This is the interlocal agreement that talking about how we're going to share that data and make sure that we're doing it with appropriate measures for safety and security and privacy. And so that's all this is just saying how we're going to manage that data. Now, once we sign this and their board signs it, then our IT guy will talk to their IT guy and we'll get all situated and sent off and actually be able to hand out, what's the right word for them, create these library cards. So every student who signed up for it can just use the library and have access to it. So
Emmeline and Kelly, what do you think?
I like it. Yeah, I never heard of them. I think
Yeah.
it's.
I probably said the same.
you probably signed the form and find out forms and was like, I didn't notice that. Yeah. It hasn't been a big push because we haven't had the agreement in place. We haven't made a lot of noise about it yet, but it was in final forms.
I know the Braves Hub goes frequently.
Yeah.
You guys go once a week to the library, so now the kid will really have a library card.
Yeah,
This will
exactly.
help them.
I think it's like bring your ASB card thing.
I think they'll have library cards for you because we talked about that, but we don't yet have that system available to make the ASB be that.
And nothing changes if you already have a library.
No, nothing would change. Yeah, you just get to keep the one you already have. This just enables us to make sure that anybody who wants one on campus can get one. Yeah. So, and
Fabulous.
it took away the need for parents to go and physically do it because they're signing the form there in final forms. They're signing up for it there, which enables us then to do like walking field trips to the library with every kid who has a card and it just makes life a little easier. So I thought it was great.
Good deal. Alrighty. Any other discussion? Otherwise, I'm looking for a motion to adopt the ILA with the O'Connor Swinomish Library for student cards.
I make a motion to adopt the ILA Lacano Swinomish Library student cards.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Next, we are moving on to a discussion item. Again, we are 6 months into our board goals. So again, I just wanted to take a couple minutes here at the board meeting today to just kind of review our goals that we adopted in July. So we tied them to the strategic plan. So as you look at Engage, again, this is focused on incremental student success. again, we need to accelerate the learning and academic performance in math and reading by 10 points. So again, that is really the direction we have given to the administrative team and really every teacher. We want the academic performance through our assessments to go up by 10 points, the percent of kids that meet state standards. So we put that into our goals. And Beth, I think next month in February, so 3 times a year, we look at our data. So in February, I think you guys are all taking the assessment, the iRating assessment, which is where we kind of look and measure that. I know kids don't really like those assessments, but it's the best thing we have to see how we're doing. We look to meet with the secondary students in October. We'll do it again in March. So that is a great time. We supported your policy for cell phone usage. And again, when we were in the school, there was no cell phones. Yeah, which was great. Again, we supported the alternative learning experiences to improve our graduation rates and support student needs. Monitoring discipline for positive learning environment. I'm not sure. I know, Kim, that was a big one for you to make sure we have that, but.
We're working on implementing, I haven't yet started, but we're working on implementing a system for tracking our student discipline for the more minor things. The system is called SWIS, and Christine don't know what it stands for, I don't remember, but basically it's for tracking those like minor infractions rather than just the major things. It's cumulative, tracks the really big things that get reported to the state, but we want to be able to determine, are we making progress on the little things as well? So we're working on implementing a system where teachers can submit that, and then we can talk about what we're seeing and where the issues are.
It's gonna be interesting to see that with the cell phones.
Yeah.
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 I've been hearing a lot of chatter about that across the country, you know, with schools now adopting to take the cell phones out of school, yeah. Yeah.
States want to mandate it ahead of them.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see where that's gonna go with the connection there.
Yeah. So again, I think we want to keep that on, because again, discipline in the classroom, because again, you've got to have, I think, Lynn and Kelly, you guys talk about in the classroom, right? You need an environment where you can learn, and when it's disruptive.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned when a substitute teacher is in, so maybe we need to think about some
And just like the community it has built so far without having your phone.
Yeah.
Like my 6th period, we're in breads and pastries, and usually you get done doing whatever with your bread and you go sit on your phone, and now we sit together and we talk about our day and we just have conversations that you normally wouldn't have if you had your phone on. Even as adults.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've got a phone. I've got something else to occupy my mind. No, you should talk to people. Ask them how they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Good point on that. Anyway, again, my compliments to Dave and Beth for really stepping up to say, we're gonna pull cell phones. We will be a cell phone free school.
I'm pulling Christine in on that too, because it was
Okay.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Christine back there.
For sure. So anyway, Christine, thank you for that. And the last one is really to explore and expand course offering options. And I think that's going to be a topic at our next board meeting, to talk about CTE and the Northwest Technical College and one more thing. What was
Running
it?
Start.
Oh, Running Start and some other things of classes to offer. So we'll spend more time on that next time. Okay, that's engaged. So you guys, I think we're on track, right? We've got 6 more months here to kind of meet these goals. The next one is on Connect, which is engaging communities with expanded communications. Again, meet with the staff quarterly for engagement listening sessions. So again, we'll get another staff going with our staff. Again, we had an open session with them before we did the superintendent, but we'll again do another session with them. Actively engage our community with monthly events, right? That got into the strategic plan. Here in January, we were gonna discuss options for the superintendent hiring process and again, hire a permanent superintendent by June.
Check.
Okay, so there's the facts there. And then achieve, this is around improving the school district financial position. Again, we wanted to focus on incremental student enrollment in ALE programs. Improve our position on our fund balance by 250K to hit a 10% target. And successfully pass our EPO levy on February of 2025. Hopefully everybody got their balance. So, again, Dave, do you, on this one, did we hear from the county? Because there are some clip levels, and if that's okay if you never heard from them, it's the
Well,
county
I
that.
did hear from them, and
You
it wasn't
did?
what I expected to hear.
Uh-oh, what did you hear?
So I was expecting to hear what our validation number would need to be.
Yes,
So I asked that question, and the response I received was that we just needed to be 50 plus 1.
50 plus
Yeah.
1. So we don't need to get 40% from the general election. It's just a general 50% plus 1.
That's what that
Well,
was the email response I received. I was a little bit
Yeah.
surprised because most of my history
You
and
think-
levies is always, there's a validation as well. So that's what I received today, actually.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take it.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll take it. Alrighty. Any other questions on goals? Again, you guys, I just want to spend a couple minutes and just kind of review that. I think we're on track,
Mhm.
right? We're making some good progress here. It's not like we just set goals and throw them in a drawer. I just want to make sure we kind of circle back as we have our board meetings. Okay, district reports. Anybody have any questions on the district reports? Again, my compliments to everyone. Again, first off, our student reps for having such a thorough reports submitted. But again, my compliments to everyone else for a very, very good. It's very helpful. And again, we don't have to take time in the meeting. We can just spend time reading those. But any questions on any of that? Okay, with that, then I will move on to policies. And again, we've kind of gotten behind a little bit, but again, we did our first reading at our study session. Now we're doing a second reading on these policies. So let me just kind of clarify a couple of these policies. So 2163 has to do with a response to intervention. 3414 is around infectious diseases. Again, that has not been updated since September of 2020. The other one I just mentioned, 2163, the last time we read it was in January of 2017. 3420, the last time we read that was in August of 2018. 3424 is around opioids. That was in February of 2020. Oh, and I'll go back and tell you 3420. I'll ask one of the students maybe to, that word is not in my vocabulary. Anaphylaxis. Okay. That must be like 10th grade or something. Anyway, it is again, life-threatening allergic reaction. So it's a really important one. But anyway, it was such a big word there. Again, that was in August of 2018. So let me go on to 5005. This was around employment and volunteers. Again, I don't remember the date on that one. 6600 is around transportation. Again, we updated that in October of 24. 6620, last time we updated that was May of 2017. Again, that has to do with special transportation. 6625 has to do with private vehicle transportation. That was May of 2017. And 6630, again, has to do with driver training. So Kim, these are all kind of some of your old job of, again, 2018. So again, I think there were no other big changes to these. I just, again, wanted to clarify what they were. And again, we are just making sure we read 10 policies every month and make sure they're current. And Sherry, I know this is time consuming for you, but thank you so much for all the work, because I think it's important as a board that we read our policies and make sure they're current. So with that, are there any other questions on these policies? Yes, I'm looking for a motion to approve these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 policies.
Motion to approve the 9 policies.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? We are good to go on all those, so thank you. The next thing is any other board member reports or any other comments from board members? We should think about what we're gonna do at the study session, so it's on February 10th.
I know we were gonna talk about facilities.
But we're gonna talk about
You're gonna do
facilities,
that. Me and
yeah.
Toby were gonna come in.
Yeah. Should we just do it at 5 o'clock? Cause there's no really reason to tour anything.
Yeah.
We do 5 o'clock, cause I think that sounds easier. So let's just make that a 5 o'clock study session and we'll. Again, you mentioned we need to do. What were the things we were, and we just go back to it. We were gonna go through facilities. We were gonna look at iReady. So, but we could do that at 5 o'clock. And then the other thing we need to get going is, again, we were gonna do these listening sessions for our students and our staff, but some of those were more in March, so we just need to get those calendars, so. Okay, so we'll plan for 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock on that day. Alrighty, unless anyone has anything else, thank you for all the kind words and the pretty posters. Otherwise, I would do from motion, what do you look at?
Oh, I was saying the letters are beautiful and I love all of them.
Yeah,
I know.
they're
I think
fantastic.
All of them, like, my heart grew a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Alrighty, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right.
All
thank you so much. We can get out of here.
This is my
Finally
favorite.
today. JJ and.
So, is there a-
Please.
I guess it would be.
Yeah, well, they're like little, like,
Yeah,
like little
Y'all keep me posted
Most
on
of them just say like, thank you for being here, thank you.
But usually we have the.
This is my personal favorite, I don't know what it says, this is my
It was in
personal
the
favorite.
It was in the consent agenda.
After you talk.
And the